music stopped. Alright, so if you go over here next to my little stable, there's a little pond with just a nice little bridge for no reason. Here is where I keep animals that I murder for leather and mostly food purposes. Or for pigs, I use them a lot for trade because butchers seem to like them a lot. It's not really advisable to put your pigs out in the open, just because I've noticed on survival mode, if there's a thunderstorm and they get struck by lightning, then they can turn into zombie pigmen, which is another monster. If you haven't seen or heard of them before, I'll show you that one later. Let me just run to get this over with. Oh, I also have little ways that I can escape, and, if you haven't figured out, this is where I keep all my cats. And I used jungle wood for that. It took me forever to find a jungle in this world. These are the 3 basic things that cats can look like: the tuxedo, the tabby, and the Persian. And you get those by taming ocelots with fish. Taming ocelots is a lot harder than taming wolves, yes. I got a couple different types of trees here, just because the wood looks different and it's nice. I built a little looks like they're having a pool party. Oh, hi guys. So I built an extra harvester over here. And the way this works, I wish I could use the other one, because the other one would let you see the process better. But I flick this little switch, and if I run, it does a nice job of not ruining the dirt, but harvesting the crops for me. Pushing them down into this little, these little hopper dispensers, which I've showed you before. Once you're sure that that is turned off, well, not turned off. Once you've ensured that that has done its job, you can turn it back off again. And if you want to see how that works, I can make I was planning to make a video about it. But let me just go ahead and show you kind of the mechanism of it. Okay, so if you have either a piston or a sticky piston, you can do this. Sticky pistons for me are harder to get a hand on, just because slimes, I have a harder time finding them. So if you don't have a sticky piston, you can use either sand or gravel, because those are the blocks that will free fall if you knock out the blocks below them. So the pistons are shoving these up to block the water, and the switch knocks down the pistons so that they're at rest and the water can flow freely. So it's a nice little thing you can do over there. Ow. Alright. At the risk of being caught out after dark, here are some extra animals, just because I like to have a couple extra around. Some extra melons, a squid, and a chicken, as you do. Oh, this is a bad idea. This is a bad idea, but I don't care. So up here, it's not a lighthouse or anything, it's just kind of like, this is where I keep my nether portal, which I will show you that later. If you can't see over there, that is my guardian of the Western Mountains. He just kind of stands there. That is probably the most creative I've been on my own, was just making a large guy to stand there. And I think I got the idea from one of PewDiePie's, or wait, was it? I think it was Markiplier who did, like, Drunken Minecraft, and they made, like, a giant Slenderman. I was trying to make a Slenderman and then just decided to go hero. So I gave him a sword, and I made a little altar to him, where people can practice their heathen worship. And if I don't get out of here soon... Well, hi, friend. What's your name? I know I'm probably committing sacrilege by not fighting them with an actual sword, but... You know, I just use what I can get my hands on. That is a skeleton. I'm gonna leave before he notices me. So, yeah, this is another way that monsters can get in, but usually they're not smart enough, or... They're too far away to notice me to want to come this way. And, Endermen can still get in, spiders can still get in. It's not foolproof, but it does make things a lot easier. Hop down on the lower bunk. Bunk beds are kind of nice if you just want an arrangement for when your friends play, because my friends don't play very often, but when they do, it's nice having a little place for that. Okay, so at the risk of sending one of these things off, just anywhere. Okay, so I have it set up so you press this button, and like I said, it just goes from the start, but it also when it goes off, another one is dropped. I only have like 3 of these, but it's kind of useful to have. Oh, there it is. I'm taking it with me. Yeah. Dang it. I guess I'll just follow it. I like building those monster traps. It's better to build them closer to where you do most of your business, just because, well, just because you're around to actually pick up the monster drops. They're too far away for... If I'm just hanging out at my house, it's too far away for them to spawn and actually drop. But I made mine over there. My mistake. Let's see. So you can use these redstone-infused tracks to kind of speed things along. Some of which I have torches for, and others I have, like, little switches. Which... I just did that because I ran out of torches when I was first building this track. And if you want to stop for whatever reason anywhere you go, might be okay to have a couple of them. So you can just flick them as you go by and they'll bring you to a stop. Oh. Let me see if I can, like, or at least they slow you down. I was thinking that was going to bring me to a stop, but whatever! Okay, so here's a little desert and savanna biome right next to my happy little slice of paradise over that way. It's nice having that giant monster trap also because it makes a nice beacon. When you're first going around and you don't have a compass, it's nice to have landmarks or something that you can get to. If anybody is interested in the seed, by the way, I can always give it to you if you ask in the comments. So here I have a little village, and rarely enough, a temple spawned right next to it. So what did I do? I built my train station into the temple. Because I had no other use for it, really. So these are the villages. Villages are populated by these little Squidward weirdos. And you trade them for things. They like emeralds, so the more emeralds you have, the more you can trade, theoretically. They grow their own crops, so this is a great place where you can stock up on things you might not have. And it's especially good if you have a farmer in these villages. Shepherd. Get classes like the shepherd, the farmer, the librarian, fisherman, Fletcher. Just a bunch of things. They always have, like, these little wells and houses, and apparently the more doors you put in the village, the more the villagers will spawn more of them. I haven't seen it yet. I try not to hang around the villages too much when I have monsters enabled, just because in my second world that I was playing around in, I accidentally went to a village and didn't have a bed and was just kind of hanging out. The monsters killed off pretty much all of my villagers. And so I had this empty village, which it's fun if you want to just, like, build your own house and things. Well, not have to build your own house, just hollow out one of theirs. But it's kind of depressing from the fact that, like, all that trade dried up. So I made this little place. Well, not this place. I made these tracks. So that is the train station for that village, and surprisingly enough, there was another village just over yonder. So this is as far as my tracks go right now. Just to these 2 little villages and back. There's the guy... I'm trying to think, he's the mage, maybe? He collects things like gold and rotten flesh and weird things. I forget exactly what they're called. When you hang out in deserts, it doesn't rain. But if you leave the desert and it's raining elsewhere, then it will obviously start raining again. Probably a little belated, but I feel the need to mention that I'm playing this on a Mac, and this is Minecraft version 1.8.9. Different animals have a likelihood of spawning in different areas. I have found that snowy forests tend to have... I think the term is deciduous. Don't quote me on that just yet. But forests are where you're more likely to find wolves, and jungles are like the only place you can find ocelots. Cows, pigs, and the duck chickens, whatever they are. Some mix of the two. See, it does bring you to a stop. Now I gotta push myself until I reach the next one. And if I stop pressing forward, it just kind of stops on its own. Where was I? Yeah, the duck chickens just kind of spawn in various places. Squids in the water. Oh, there's one last place that I can show you before we close off this little journey into my world. Alright, so we're here. Let's see. So this is the fortress I discovered. If you don't know what a fortress is, they're these little generated structures that you find underground. You use the Eye of Ender, which you can make using Enderman pearls and blaze rods, which you can get in the Nether. And you throw those into the air, and they will fly in the direction of one of three. Have these portals that take you to the end, where you can fight the Ender Dragon, which wasn't originally in the game when it first came out, but they decided to create a point for it. So you find these little things like traps inside fortresses other than the portal. You can fall in there. You also find treasure chests with goods. These little door things that lead all over. Libraries with cobwebs, which you can harvest, but I haven't really looked up how. It's not been a priority for me just yet. The end portal must be completed by the Eyes of Ender, so you don't want to use too many of them trying to get here, because when you get here, you're going to need to fill out the rest of the circle there. Squares. And yeah, just hallways, treasure chests and things. Usually there will be a greater cave that these are in, so you can hang around and look for other things around, like diamonds and what have you. And despite the fact that I am going to die, I will show you what the end looks like.